Welcome back, guys, and this is the 4th of July weekend, so just want to wish you guys to have a happy 4th. Hopefully you guys are all staying safe out there. I am still at the shop because, well, you guys all know that's my happy place. So I'm supposed to be out at the lake with the wife right now, and somehow I have sweet talked her into letting me come later. So what I have here, guys, is the Blue SI. You guys had a lot of love for this thing and comments, so big thank you guys for these two cars and you guys supporting them on the channel. Like I said, I think it'll be something nice change on the channel for you guys to see and the growth, and you guys will get to see me grow with these cars and learn. This car, when it was on the dyno, as you guys knew, we were having a breakup issue. It seemed like it was hit or miss. It did seem to change after those last few pulls to where we got clean pulls, but once I took it off the dyno, it was very apparent that we still had a problem. So I should have recorded last night, but to be honest with you, it was very spontaneous. Me and Josh pulled the thing apart. Well, not necessarily pulled it apart, just went through everything on the car. Obviously, we tried different coil packs on it. We put new spark plugs in it. Went over the grounds on the car, added a ground on it, changed the relay out on the conversion harness. None of that seemed to help this breakup issue. And it didn't necessarily even happen when you're in boost. It was happening before you even got into power, and then it would just continue to get worse. So the only other thing from there would be fuel. We know it has a new fuel pump on it. Fuel pressure looked good. And I kept telling Josh, I was like, it seems like it has a clogged injector or something wrong with the injectors. So we went ahead, threw a set of brand new 1050X injectors I have here, and that was actually going to go into that car for the all motor build, but I put them in here. I already know that they're too small of an injector for where we want to go with this car, but it was mainly just a diagnose. As soon as I put those injectors in, rescaled it on the computer, I had to pull 50% fuel out of the idle map. I mean, it was huge. And I know when I was tuning the car, I was like, this doesn't seem right. You know, I had quite a bit of fuel in it at idle, and it just didn't seem right. But it was a new software learning, so I just went ahead and worked with it. I know they were a bigger injector, so I did that. Put the 1050s in. As soon as right away, I knew the car revved up, super smooth. Everything felt good. Drove it, and guys, no more breakup issues. Finally got it figured out. I come to find out that this was an issue prior to my ownership, and they were also fighting this as well. And I didn't know about that from who I got it from. Didn't know either. And yeah, I mean, we finally figured it out. It's ready to go. Like I said, before it has a Bosch 044 fuel pump, which is 380 liter per hour pump, and we have 1050. So we know we're limited on fuel. It's like 10.8 air fuel right now on wastegate. ECU shows 11.5 pounds. Dyno shows 14 pounds. So I think what I'm going to do today is put it back on the dyno to go through and clean it up, so now I can actually do the right tuning on the cam timing. And the right way to do that would be tune 0 degrees, 10, 20, 30, 40, and then obviously, you know, there's 50, but I don't think this car is going to need that much. So what we'll probably do to clean up our 0, our 10, 20, 30, and then maybe we'll see if it wants 40 or not. That's what I want to do with the car. And then I'm going to put the boost controller back on, and we're going to turn this thing up until I don't have any more injector, which probably going to happen around 500 wheel is my idea, but it is a Honda motor. They are very efficient, make power very well. Another thing that I'm going to do is the exhaust, guys. So back on this car, I sold it. It was not all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive still had to be done in the car. My friend took it in to Ranchbuilt to have them go ahead and install the all-wheel drive kit I had for it. Well, when they did that, he gave them a budget. His budget and time frame made him kind of skimp on the exhaust setup on the car. So this has an oval exhaust on it. This car is Wago Van all-wheel drive. For those of you who don't know Hondas, on the Wago Van, they have a drive shaft that goes back, has a viscous coupler. It's got to get mounted underneath the tunnel there and then go back to the rear diff. Now on these cars, they were never intended to be all-wheel drive. So obviously there's a tunnel for exhaust, but there's not really room for a drive shaft, a viscous coupler, and exhaust. So with that being said, they took 3-inch and they had to smash it down. So I'll show you. I don't know how clear this will come across. So it's really smashed along in the center there. And I'm not really happy with that. Not really what I would want to do with it. So to be honest with you guys, I know it's going to be kind of hard, but I'm going to put the exhaust out the hood. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. This isn't the original hood on the car. I'm trying to obtain the original hood because I did give it to him with it. And then obviously, you know, it's Honda stuff. So it got sold and went to someone else, etc. So this car is a VIN matching car, but the hood. So it is a nice hood, but I think that we're going to cut that. We're going to bring this up and go up right here out the hood. It's going to be a little bit sad because this thing is in such nice condition, but I think that'll be much better for the car. Obviously, you know, it's a stock motor. It comes down to efficiency at that point, and to have this much back pressure, especially when you start turning the car up, I don't really think it's going to be good. So that's what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jack this thing up because I don't feel like putting it on the lift. So I'm just going to jack it up underneath for now, undo one V-band there, and then it should come off. So let's go ahead and do that. Once I get that exhaust off, then we'll go ahead and get the thing on the dyno and we'll start cleaning it up. I'll try to keep it kind of short because I know you guys already saw this thing on the dyno, but I think you'll enjoy today's video. All right, I got the thing all loaded on the dyno. Exhaust is off. Now I can show you exactly what I was talking about. So this is the exhaust there. You see how it gets smashed down? So not the most flowing exhaust in the world. The same, when he was building it, was just to be a sleeper. Granted, yes, that did work. We did make 473 on that. This will be a lot more healthy for the motor, especially if we plan on turning this up more, which I do. I just don't know how far these injectors are going to let us go. I know on Subarus 1050s and a 380, like an AEM pump, they're going to get you right in the same realm where we were. 475 to 500 if you really push them. Honestly, I would say those injectors on a Subaru, since this is a Subaru channel, 400 to 450 is in that safe range. After that, I would definitely recommend you guys going to a 1300 or 1700. So let's go ahead, get this thing fired up. I'm going to work on some of the drivability on it. I need to clean up just on the tip end right when you first take off. Other than that, it was pretty solid. And then I got to start from ground zero. So we need to tune our cam timing. That's the whole point of the dyno, is to be able to lay our graphs over each other. So I'll do 0 degrees, 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, so forth, like I was talking about. And that's how we'll tune our cam timing. We'll see exactly where the car wants to be for cam timing. We'll tune the fueling on each one, and then we'll make our cam timing map, and we can move on from there. And we can start adding some boost to it. So pretty excited for today. Let's fingers crossed we can keep this old stock motor together. I don't think we're going to be able to push it too far today with these injectors. So there's probably going to be a good chance, you know, your boy's going to be buying some bigger injectors, bigger fuel pump for this thing. And then we'll turn it up. I would like to do some racing in this thing this year. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead, dive into the computer, and start cleaning. All right, guys, so we're just in the car. What I'm doing here is I'm just cleaning up my fuel map here right when I first take off, and then the cruising portion here. Trying to make things nice and smooth, make sure the car is good. You can see our idle. Pretty much perfect right there. And we are right at 1,000 RPMs, maybe 900. Everything is looking good. So let me go and upload this. The K-Pro keeps saying this will read it out of date up there, so that makes us a little bit of a pain, and it keeps freezing, so that has not been fun. That's been something with this car, it just freezes. So I'm gonna go ahead, restart my program here. We will flash this to the car, see if these changes made a difference. And this is the tedious part, guys. I mean, this is what takes a while. Make sure you have a good driving car. It's really where the dyno shines, because I don't have to sit here and focus on the road. I can just focus on the data, focus on the car, and make the adjustments needed. So that's what I'm doing right now. Got our map here. It's probably going to kill the car when I go to upload it. Yeah. So just uploading the map, upload changes. Let's see if this helps. I do want to get a different steering wheel, guys. I know this Acrobat is kind of killing it in here. Maybe even just changing this to the Honda, but I definitely want to get a different airbag at least. So now we're relearning. Let's see how it does on takeoff now. Still a little bit lean right there. robbed you of the first pull. I was just going through cleaning it up. Went ahead, did my first pull on 10 degrees VTC. Now I'm changing it over to 20 degrees, just flat table. But you can tell this thing's already way happier now, having good injectors in it. Guys, just on 10 degrees flat VTC, no real cam timing adjusted in the car. Made 493, 275. So definitely still nice graph. I have VTEC coming in at 4,200. Like I said, I'm gonna play with this cam timing. I'm sure I'm probably gonna have to make some fuel adjustments here, but I went ahead and just, like I said, flat table, 20 degrees. We'll do that, then we'll do 30. And then if we think that it needs more, we can add more. My assumption is it's probably gonna want more at VTEC. You know, we might go to the 40 degrees, maybe 45. This does have a 50 degree VTC on it. So we're just gonna dial in the cam timing. I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up so you guys see another pull. I haven't done anything on the 20 degree VTC, so hopefully our fueling is pretty close. Like I said, it might need a little bit more fuel. It was a little bit richer on that one. It was like 11.3, so we do have some wiggle room there. If it, you know, obviously we have more cam angle and the car makes more power, more efficient, it's gonna need more fuel, and that'll give us some headroom. So let me set the camera up. Let's go ahead and do this pull, see what happens. Hopefully I can do a full pull. If it does get too lean, I'm gonna have to let out. Finishing up that pull. Car's off because I was trying to figure out on the dyno how to get it pulled up, because my name is in the dyno about 10 million times, so I had to go off the license plate. This here is 10 degree and then 20 degree VTC. Now I hope this is coming through clear. You can see there's definitely the bridge, so here it's gaining power all through the mid-range with the 20 degree VTC, as I figured it would. You know, up top we're going to level it and taper it down. It's probably going to end up around 20 degrees VTC up on top, but made 493 and 275. I don't know, actually, hang on, run 2, run 3. I don't know why there's 3 runs on there. So it looks like that's odd. I don't know, I'll have to rescale this because, like I said, I was messing with it coming up. But it's right in the same vicinity in power, but the whole point of the dyno is to see this mid-range here. And we can tell that we're making more power all through the whole power band. So I'm gonna go ahead and review the data log, look at everything, and then we'll move on to 30 degree. And then if we can do 40 or 45, we'll see if it gains, and we'll do another pull. But man, this thing pretty rowdy for just being on wastegate. So let me figure out this dyno thing here. Like I said, it's just being a pain because I have my name in there so many times. So now I figured out I can go off the license plate. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna look at the data log and we'll go for another pull. Once I get this all dialed in and we get our cam timing, then we'll go ahead, add the boost controller on, and we'll turn this thing up. It is right at 500 wheel. I need to look at my injector duty cycle, see where we're at on the injectors. I imagine we're gonna start running out here soon, if not already. Especially when you start adding cam timing, like I told you guys, it's gonna want more fuel. So let's go ahead, take a look at this log. All right, I went ahead and went over to that log. See, I got a flat table of 30 degrees. Let's go ahead and get set up. We'll do this pull. We will see what 30 degrees does for us. I imagine it's going to pick up, you know, while the cruising part, the low end of the graph, very first part of it, probably going to pick up at VTEC even, because I'm sure VTEC's still going to want more VTC. And then up top, I imagine it's going to lay over up top because it's going to want less. But let's go ahead, get this dialed in. I did add some more fuel in there because it was like right at the 13.0 when it was going into boost. So let's try this out. So just as I figured, it didn't lose its peak number. Let me turn this thing off. So it lost its peak number because obviously it's going to want less cam timing up top than 30 degrees. But let's take a look here. I have all these pulled up, and I got the first run, that's 10 degrees. Second run is 20 degrees. Third run, 30 degrees. Now, you take a look here, and I hope the GoPro's picking up clear. You can see in the mid-range how much we're gaining. So now the bright red is the last one here, and you can see it's dipping down up top because it's going to want 20 degrees VTC right there, and we're dipping down to where we first had 10 degrees because it's starting to lose power up top. So we know 20 degrees right there, looks like it's 7,000 RPMs is what the car wants. And then same thing up top, you know, 20 degrees is what comes up and makes the most power, as I figured it would. And the 10 degree even made less. So looking good there. Now the real story is when we get past the VTEC here and we're coming in the power. Now this is a 6766, kind of an older turbo, so you can tell it's definitely coming in later than, let's say, like a 35R, where it would probably come in over here. So you can see in the VTEC there, we're starting to lay over with the 30 degrees. The last step here is to try 40 degrees on this and see, you know, how much power changes there, and then I'll paint the whole picture. The 30 degrees, like I said, down below you can see our torque picked up, and the torque is a huge upgrade right there. So that is what we want to see. This is the whole point of a dyno, guys. For the cam timing, this is what you need to do, because then I can paint the whole picture of what we need. Still beautiful graph. Fuel is looking good. I still haven't looked at injector duty cycle because we're staying on par, but I am going to look at that now. I'm going to go ahead and review our data log, look at that. I'm going to just put it flatline 40 degrees. Obviously the car is going to lose power, I would imagine, you know, down here, but it's going to pick up maybe here, so it'll give us a good idea of what it's going to do. So let me look at this and we will see and go from there. We got our cam timing here all set. I just don't have it at where the car idles. 40 degrees, flat line there. Well, good thing I checked this because I put it at 45 here, so I'm going to change that. My mind wanted me to do more, so I'm going to flatline this at 40 degrees, and we'll see how much the gains are. Now I'll decide, you know, if we should try to do more. This thing having a 50 degree VTC obviously is a plus, but the dyno will tell all. You know, we'll see if it's really gaining power there or not, and then we'll pull all these up, and then I'll be able to see exactly where we need to be for our cam timing. I don't really see 10 degrees needing to be much other than a blend. It's probably going to be much of cruising at 30, probably around 40 to 45 at VTEC, and then right around, it looks like right at 6, it's going to want to go down to 20. So that's what we'll look at, and we'll go from there, guys. So I got this loaded. I'm going to make that change, set you guys back up. We'll do another pull. I'll show you guys on the dyno graph, and then as long as everything looks good there, we can now add boost. So it is seeing a bit more for boost right now because it doesn't have the exhaust on it. So if I look here, we got up at the very peak 14.3 pounds. Sorry for the glare. 14.3 pounds, made 493 on that one. Obviously our peak is a little bit down because of our cam timing. So right around 500 wheel and 14 pounds. I'm pretty happy with that, guys. I do need to find injector duty, which here it is. Ooh. Yeah, boys, we are 99% injector duty cycle. Mother frick. Want more power. We'll make that determination, but it's probably going to stay on wastegate. Damn it. I really wanted to go up more. Well, that's going to have to do that for now. Now I know. Told you guys, right around 500. That's pretty spot on. You know, this is a more efficient engine. I figured maybe it might make a little bit more. I know people are bumping up the base pressure on these things a bit more. This one's at 50 psi. Some people are, excuse me. Some people are putting these things up to like 100 psi base pressure, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to leave it at 50, and, you know, worst case, if we are out of injector and out of fuel, then I guess I'll just leave it on wastegate, because I don't want to sit here and risk it just because our fuel system's small. I can always send those 2000s out to get cleaned. To be honest, I almost would rather put like some 1650s in the car or ID 1700s. I think that would be plenty for it for the stock motor and get a little bit better drivability than the 2000s. 2000s, you know, they have their quirks. They have a little bit of idle quirks. You can't idle them as low. A little bit of things about drivability. These thousands, guys, drive so freaking nice. So let's go ahead, like I said, set you guys up, see what this next pull is. start taping our VTC up top because it definitely lost a lot of power there. I'll pull up the graph. Well, I'll pull up the amount that it made. So yeah, it made 466 up top instead of the 496. So we can tell it definitely lost. And if you look, you can see how much it dipped down up top because it doesn't want that much VTC up top, which is fine. But the true story is right here in the mid-range, right when power is coming in, it's still wanting to gain. So now we can start by ramping down. What I have here is, this is 20, 30, and 40 on the screen here. So we can see differences. I'm probably gonna start scaling the top end because I'm gonna throw a whole VTC map on the car now. We're gonna start at 30 down below. I'm gonna crank this up to 45, see if we get another bump in power right there. And then I'm gonna drop it down right around 6. We're gonna probably go down, you know, blend between 30 and 20 and go 20 out the back so we can make this thing happy. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead, update the ECU there, look over our data log, look over our fuel, and make that. All right, so we got these tables put in. So I have it at 0 here for the idle, and then we have a nice smooth, you know, ramp obviously up to our table up here. So cruising at 30, we'll see how that feels. I have it blend 35 to 40. So that way when we go over to VTEC, it has a nice blend over to, it's 45 degrees there. We're gonna try, blend it down to 35 and then 20 up top. So we're gonna let this on the car. I'm gonna look at the graph. What I'll do is I'll load up our previous 40 degree and we'll see if this really does gain anything in the mid-range by going to 45, and that's where we'll make our decision. So we're just fine tuning the car right now. We're just gonna be at the limit of the fuel system, but even 500 wheel, guys, I'm super happy of that for now. Obviously want to go for more power later on. Definitely wanted to turn this thing up more, show you guys more power today, but the injectors are just gonna hold us back. So I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, load this on, set you guys up. Let's see how this full cam timing map does on the car. The car should just definitely eat up top because that's what it wants. So let's see how it does. Wow, guys, the car really came alive on that one with the full VTC map on the car. It's where it truly pays off to take the time and go through it, guys. This is my first K car, my first K Pro car to tune as well. A lot of my information I'm having to learn too, and I know everyone always says to tune each VTC map, and it does take quite a bit more time, but I'm certain that the results are worth it because, guys, on wastegate we made 502, 287 torque, and look at the graph, like huge. Look at right when VTEC hits how much power comes in. Nice broad torque curve there. Really good, guys. I am happy of that. Now, as promised, let's pull up the 40 degree VTC on here to see if we truly did gain anything in that mid-range there. So we pull up the last one here. Let's put it to line graphs. Well, that didn't work. Huh. Why is it being weird? Oh, it's because I didn't have the dyno stop itself. So it's really going to be hard there. It's definitely riding the same line. Maybe a little bit taller there. But I am super happy of that, guys. I mean, just take a look at the differences of cam timing up top. This is going to 20 degrees up top. And it's still going. Like, I don't know how much I should rev this thing out in stock form. I feel like 8200 for the K24 is pretty far, especially being a stock motor. It just has that K20 oil pump on it. So that's gonna clear that up. I'm gonna leave the car there. I am gonna look over it, see what the air fuel was, because it is making more power, which means it's probably gonna want more fuel up top. I'm gonna look at everything, and then we'll move over to launch control stuff. Been working on the launch control in the car. You can have pretty good fun. Now, everyone says Honda's launch control is not that great. My settings I put in it earlier, I tested, I've been playing around with it. It was pretty freaking rowdy earlier. So let's go ahead, look over the data log, look over the fueling, and see about leaving it here. But 500 wheel, guys, that's a lot of fun for this lightweight street car. So let's look over to fuel, see what it was doing up top. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know if this is gonna pick up the air fuel there, but if you watch, it's like 11.8 to 12.0, and up top it goes down to 11.5, 11.6, right up by the red line. So I'm gonna leave it there because 99%. Oops, now this is going. 99% injector duty cycle, and that air fuel. That's, I mean, we're not gonna be able to add any more boost. Is the real story. So 97% injector duty cycle. Coming down here, we saw 14.1 psi of boost on the ECU side. So that is about as far as I can go. Timing is at 19 degrees up top. Probably could add a little more timing up top. I feel like that's a pretty good spot to be. It's right, even right before it cuts off. It's like 20 degrees timing. For those of you who want to know, pretty happy with it. Like I said, air fuel looks good. Everything looks good. Car does good. So I mean, only thing left from here is to enjoy the car. I just want more power. You know, I did rob you guys on doing a street pull the last time. Now it did just finish up raining, so maybe we'll take this thing out for a little street rip to end this video out. I'm gonna play up the launch control real quick. I think I was a little too rowdy earlier, so let me make some adjustments. All right, I'm making my adjustments here. Fire the car up, and we will see if this is better. I took 10 degrees out, but obviously that's not the true factor on how this works, because it goes off of where the map is. So when it says retard ignition here, let's say your ignition time is 40 degrees and I want to retard 10 degrees. That means I'm going to put 50 here. So I took 10 degrees out of that table there to drop it down, because I had 34 degrees, which would have put me at like -10 for timing, retarding the ignition timing 10 degrees to get it to build boost. I pulled that 10 out of it because obviously when it builds boost, it's going to ride that timing table out into a different timing number. So I'm going to go, you'll see what happens. I think I'm going to leave it there. I made a little bit of changes. I added about 5 more degrees back into that retard, and it's pretty freaking rowdy. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get this thing unstrapped off the dyno, and we're going to go for that test pull that I promised you guys before. And I know you want to see what an all-drive Civic looks like on the good old Mexico road. So let's get this thing off. Let's get the car off the dyno. We're going to go drive out a little bit, and we will do a couple pulls by myself, so maybe a little bit hard, or we'll have some slow shifting, so bear with me on that, because it's gonna be hard to hold the GoPro and control this thing. Oh Jesus, not triple disc. Alright guys, see how stable I can hold the camera. a tune, and I always dreamed of tuning my own Honda, and here I am today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Probably gonna wrap it up. The GoPro's about to die, so I will catch you guys in the next video. Leave down in the comments, what do you think of this thing, guys? Are you ready to see at least another 100 or 150 wheel in this thing? Because this is on radials right now, and it is handful. Holy shit. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Hope you guys have an awesome 4th of July. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are the best. Catch you next time.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. Life up in the fast lane, fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, throw you lemons, you just put them in Coronas, Coronas, Coronas. I've been working, I need that advance with the bonus, the bonus, the bonus. Ain't no thoughts about tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment, the moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning, I'm zoning, I'm zoning. Fast lane, living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. Life up in the fast lane, fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground.